Last night, I rode Amtrak home to see my wife and teenage children. This morning, I rode Amtrak back down here to work, and on both trips, I crossed over 200-year-old bridges and traveled through a 140-year-old tunnel. As my colleagues have made clear, we recognize that the $21 billion backlog of the so-called state of good repair for the Northeast Corridor of Amtrak is a deficit, an infrastructure deficit, a safety and an investment deficit that is built up over years. And back in March, I led a group of 22 of us who sent a letter to the Transportation Appropriations Subcommittee insisting that we fully fund Amtrak's $2 billion request for this year. Will that clear up the $21 billion backlog? No, but it will make some reasonable down payment. Why should we invest in Amtrak? Because year over year, the last 5 years, they've had steady improvements in ridership, in revenue, in performance. And I think this week's tragedy is just an opportunity to refocus us on why it matters to invest in infrastructure. Why, when our competitors, whether the Chinese or the British, are investing multiples of what we are in modernizing our rail system, we need to do the same. It took a long time to build America's national passenger and freight rail infrastructure, and it is today one of the most aging in the world. We have to invest in world-class infrastructure to make sure that we can move safely the hundreds of thousands of people who take Amtrak every single day. We shouldn't be putting passengers at risk. We shouldn't be putting our economy at risk. We shouldn't be putting our nation's future at risk. We should not be cutting the appropriations that Amtrak needs this year to make steady progress towards dealing with this long accumulated backlog. This is an irresponsible path that the Republican budget in the House would take us towards in cutting investments needed for Amtrak to move us forward.